Welcome back to Terrifying 10, the channel where stupidity reigns supreme and there's always a dull moment. Because no one can seem to figure out how to use their brains. Just like our next 10 winners, plus a bonus hidden somewhere throughout the video. In this video, we're going over 10 people who thought their prank would be the next internet sensation, when really, they lost all sensation because they died. That's right, 10 people who won their Darwin Award because of a prank gone wrong. Horribly wrong. From a garbage can rolling down a hill to a man faking his own death, it's time. Initiate stupidity in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pranks and golf carts go hand in hand, it seems. And this next story outlines that perfectly. The true reason for why Cody decided to pull this next prank remains unknown. What is known, it was silly and totally unnecessary. What happened? Well, Cody and his friends decided it would be a funny idea to tow a golf cart behind one of their cars. So they grabbed the first thing they could find to attach the two vehicles, which just so happened to be a garden hose. Then they headed out to test their towing capabilities. At some point, Cody thought it would be funny to start swerving the golf cart back and forth. Only problem with that is, a lane is only so wide. At some point, he swerved right into a Ford truck. And just like that, the funny prank had turned fatal. As for all of us, be safe and remember, do not cross that line. The double yellow line. When planning your next out-of-the-box adventure. At some point in time, I think everyone thinks that there's one record in the Guinness Book of World Records that they can beat. Our next winner didn't win a new record, but still won an award all their own. Baldwin Street in Dunedin is listed as the steepest in the world in the Guinness Book of World Records. And it was at the top of this 38-degree incline that Anna and her friend hatched a plan for a midnight downhill slide. The two university students dragged a two-wheeled rubbish bin up the street, climbed in, shoved off, and went down in their makeshift sleigh. As they hurtled pell-mell down Baldwin Street in the wee hours of the morning, residents described being awakened by a hell of a racket. Their 50-meter dash ended precipitously when the rubbish bin slammed into a legally parked trailer. Anna was killed instantly, and her co-pilot suffered serious head injuries, though one wonders how they noticed. Their feat did not make it into the Guinness Book of World Records because, as of today, the top speed of their garbage can is still unknown. In a new twist of "Hold my beer, watch this," a man handed his Snapchat over to his friend. And with a whoop of glee, he leapt over a footbridge railing, intending to land dramatically on a parapet below. Unknown to him, or his filming friend, the seemingly solid shade was flimsy gypsum board. And he crashed right through, falling 4 floors to his death. We are saddened by the death of this young and personable student, but our sadness would do disservice to the deceased if it caused us to hush up his fatal prank. Jonathan, you're a winner. A telephone company was replacing above-ground lines with below-ground lines. In one sparsely populated farming area, if lines crossed a county road, they would dig a trench halfway across so rural traffic could continue through. Then they would fill in the trench and dig one on the other side. One morning, local farmers called the sheriff to report a smashed-up pickup truck. Inside were 2 ranch hands who were last seen the previous night, heading home from last call. On their way to the bars, the men decided to play a prank. They stopped their pickup and moved the flashing warning signs from the trench side of the road to the good side. Crime scene analysis later confirmed that they were the culprits who moved the flashing signs. Investigations also revealed that at the time of the accident, they were driving at an excessive speed with an impressive amount of alcohol in their systems. No crime scene analysis is capable of determining whether the ranch hands forgot their prank or chose to see what would happen if they hit that trench at a high rate of speed in the middle of the night. 1 minute, you're an ordinary person. The next minute, you're blowing up on TikTok. For many, it's the ultimate dream. For a few, it's a reality. But with all that TikTok fame comes somewhat of a headache. More so for some than others. Like Hamdullah, he lived in Pakistan and was a TikTok star on the rise. He was getting close to almost 8,000 followers, and now, for his next big move, he had to do something to catapult himself into stardom. And what a better way than with a prank. And not just any prank, he was going to fake his own death. Hamdullah had his friends film him as he jokingly aimed a gun he thought was unloaded to his head. He then allegedly pulled the trigger and died instantly. Turns out, he really did let all that fame get to his head. And his poor friends that were filming it, I honestly feel the worst for them. Pakistan, it seems, is a popular spot for prank videos on social media, especially pranks gone wrong. Our next winner, Raina, along with his two friends, had a YouTube channel with their focus being on pranks. One day, they decided to place a white sheet over Raina's head, like those ghosts you see in bad movies, or Charlie Brown on Halloween, and they were going to approach people in an attempt to scare them. They approached one family, and one of the men must not have found the prank very funny, because he got so startled at a stranger walking up to him in a sheet that he shot Raina. Raina died on the spot. I'm thinking they should have gone with a more convincing ghost costume. Personally, if someone came up to me demanding money and they had a weapon of any kind, my first instinct would be to defend myself. Much like the man in our next story, 20-year-old Timothy also had a prank YouTube channel. He thought it would be a funny prank to approach a group of people and pretend to rob them. Only, they had no idea of this prank beforehand. For them, it was all too real. The group was just leaving a local trampoline park when Timothy approached them with butcher knives. Unaware of the prank, David, a member of the group, shot Timothy in self-defense. David Ryban, a criminal defense attorney, explained, "If you honestly believe, that you're in danger of being harmed, then you can use self-defense. You might be wrong, you might be mistaken, but as long as you're honestly mistaken about the circumstances, you can rely on self-defense. Maybe going forward, prank robberies? Yeah, not the best ideas." If I asked you to drink as much salt water as you could right now, what would your response be? I would hope you'd think I'm crazy and shrug it off. Not go and down a bunch of salt water. After all, humans can't drink salt water. If you've ever watched a Survivor story or any sort of survival expert, you will know that drinking salt water can severely dehydrate you. One Nigerian student thought it would be funny amidst an Ebola outbreak to send out text messages to absolutely everyone, stating that if they take a bath in salt water and then drink as much salt water as they can, they would be immune to the Ebola virus. And just like fire, the text spread fast, and many people believed it. 2 adults actually died as a result of this, and 20 more were hospitalized. It's honestly shocking to me that so many people didn't know how dangerous drinking excessive amounts of salt water is. Lucky for the masses, the government caught wind of this phony claim and squashed it past. Only 2 Darwin winners from the whole ordeal. Pedro and Mona Lisa, yes, that's her actual name, were aspiring YouTube stars. Again, with their very own prank channel. Normally, their pranks were harmless, like putting chili in each other's sandwiches or baby powder as sugar on a donut. One day, Pedro got the great idea to have Mona Lisa shoot a gun at him, but he was going to hold up some books in front of himself for protection. Just before everything went down, Mona Lisa tweeted, "Me and Pedro are probably going to shoot one of the most dangerous videos ever. His idea, not mine." Maybe that, right there, was a sign not to go through with it. But go through with it they did, and to Mona Lisa's shock, the bullet went through the books, struck Pedro, and he died on the spot. Crazy that it didn't work out like they had planned. I have a very strong feeling that as long as anyone can get a hold of a gun, there will always be stories like this one. Because guns are a fun toy, right? You've almost made it to the end of the video. So, I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while and throw in a bonus just for you. An honorable mention / future Darwin winner. Or winners, I should say. Alan and Alex, twins, had nearly 6 million followers on the day of their prank. The brothers filmed themselves staging a series of bank robberies. In one video, they were both dressed in all black and carrying a bag full of money. They called an Uber driver for their getaway. A witness thought the Uber driver was being carjacked, and police arrived and ordered all of the men out of the vehicle at gunpoint. The poor driver was literally having a normal day until he stumbled upon these fools and then ended up with police pointing a gun at his head. Lucky for them, they got away with community service and probation. They were facing up to 3 years in prison at one point. All in all, no one got hurt. But this could have had a way worse outcome at any point. Practical Joker Danny loved winding up his girlfriend and his friends and family. On one occasion, he squirted himself with ketchup, pretending to have been stabbed. And another time, he faked anaphylactic shock after eating nuts while driving. One day, Danny's girlfriend, Amy, came home to see Danny hanging out. Literally. He had hung himself on a noose as a prank. Initially, she rolled her eyes and then walked away. As she started leaving, she felt that something was seriously wrong and turned around to cut him down. But by then, it was too late. Danny did not survive long enough to be cut down. After being freed, he was free from ever pranking anyone else in this world. Now the world beyond this, he has free range. And he doesn't have to worry about his jokes ending badly. That's all the time we have for in this video. Did you like it? Give me a thumbs up if you did, or leave a comment down below. Tell me, is there a prank you did that went wrong? Hopefully, well, if you're commenting, then definitely it didn't go as wrong as these people. Thank you so much for joining me in Darwin Awards Pranks Gone Wrong. Thanks so much for subscribing to the best troop of all the troops in the YouTube verse. As always, stay safe, Troop TT.